Jolan true Centurions, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Plus Bond. I am Fleet Admiral Tarek of the somewhat dinged-up battleship Flamapena as we continue our campaign against the United Federation of Planets. And the last time, the heavy cruiser almost took our lunch. Yeah, things were not grand. We managed to get into a bit of a dogfight with two light cruisers and a heavy cruiser. And, yeah, as you can see, we've taken a pretty decent chunk of damage. So, without further ado, let's put out into space and start chugging home, because we kind of need to go home for repairs. I mean, we could probably continue on for a little bit while longer to try and earn that additional, like, 2,000 prestige we need to buy another King Condor. But as you can see, entering in this mission, we are at 78 power of 84 with, a lot of systems not quite working. So we would like to fix that. So putting out on a standard deep space patrol, hunting for the enemy as best as we can. And we'll also increase the speed of time, because why not? We're not doing a whole heck of a lot right now. There doesn't appear to be enemy. There is the enemy. Hello, enemies. Hang on a sec. I will be with you in just a second. Let me... Not all. We just need the one on. New. Stop pressing that button. That's the button we want. There we go. Excellent. Targeting the enemy. It is a single heavy cruiser. And according to our readouts, it is an HVX, a X-type heavy cruiser. Not... Okay, so how do I explain this? This is an X-type ship built after X-type weapons came into being, but before the X-type hulls come online. So this is about the best heavy cruiser you can probably get. I'm not sure how that rates against a battle cruiser, but this should be pretty strong. And as you can see, he has also launched a whole bunch of fighters. And because he's an HV, he is a heavy carrier. So, fun. At least I think that's him. We fought HVXs before, right? 80% positive that's right. All the plasma, just get him to freak out. That's all we're looking for. This doesn't need to be complicated. We'll just annihilate him in this way. You know, this is actually the second time trying to record this episode. I am 99% positive that the anomaly mission is totally unsalvageably bugged in this save. Because once again we faced off against another battleship, and right as we blew him up into little tiny pieces, the game crashed, and it wasn't fun. It had been a relatively quick battle because we were going through it at maximum speed of time. We're going to have to take a shot from this, aren't we? Yep. Fortunately for us, you won't survive. There we go. So it's now just us and you in this wonderful space. Hi. We've demonstrated several times that this amount of plasma torpedo bombardment can destroy most everything. Unfortunately, you would have to set those torpedoes to enveloping mode in order for that to happen, which we forgot to do. And I'm sure there is somebody who's watching the screen who's like, seriously, turn those things on. But no, we did not. So I guess we'll just have to fight this out the old-fashioned way, which ought to be interesting, although he was able to punch through our shields with what appeared to be everything he could bear. But it does appear that 6 plasma torpedoes, 7 plasma torpedoes, and a little bit of phaser barrage can kill a heavy cruiser in one shot. We almost got everything fixed on the ship too. I mean, the transporters still appear to be a little bit down, which seems pretty typical for Star Trek. But other than that, yeah, we're good. At 190 prestige for our troubles. We could probably stay out here just a little longer. I mean, my main concern was mainly the fact that a lot of the systems were offline from last episode, so hey, let's keep pushing it. We shall push our luck until our ship explodes. Battle alert and increased speed. Was this a convoy raid and I wasn't paying attention? I think it was. It's the USS... Not the USS. It's Mr. Tambourine Man. Does appear to be the vessel of the hour who has come out to support us. No other friendlies, but we are looking at a freighter, another freighter, and a little tiny frigate. And by frigate, I mean destroyer. Triple nacelle destroyer at that. So a pretty interesting design. I'm assuming that's the escort, and we are the hunters. So we're just going to kick the engines up to full power and sprint as fast as we can into these freighters. Because I assume Mr. Tambourine Man will be more than capable of taking on a DW-RX. DW for, I guess, War Destroyer, although he's clearly not a heavy War Destroyer, otherwise we would have 4 nacelles and be in the light cruiser category. The R refit is a capital R, which I'm not quite familiar with, and little x obviously is the X-type phaser refit. So here we are sprinting along. By the time plasma torpedoes are fully charged, we might be able to sprint even faster, but let's increase the speed of time. No reason to dilly-dally. And lots of outgoing fire. How's Mr. Tambourine Man doing? Not so grand. How's the DWRX doing? Perfectly fine. Barely even touched. He's got a pretty interesting armor. He's got 6 phaser X's and 2 Gatling phasers. But then again, he almost completely eschews, like, you know, heavy weapons. He's got, what was it, a single or double missile launcher? I think it was a single missile launcher. Mr. Tambourine Man is no more. It will be us versus this destroyer. And I kind of assume that our plasma armor can kill him. Even though we didn't set it to enveloping plasma torpedoes, pretty sure he's dead. Because we'll launch all the pseudos into his face and then he'll stop. We're getting up close to this one because we want to dump a whole bunch of phasers into him, and he will not be able to survive the ensuing bombardment. So let's get right on top of him, make sure that we are in the maximum phaser damage band. I was hoping not to shoot all my stuff. Fire all of these. That'll freak you out right decently, I assume. They're going to stop any moment now, right? Yeah, there it is. Okay. And as long as I'm doing this... hi. Enjoy. Also, you, all phasers. Do I have no phasers? Please, some phasers. There we go, stern firing phasers. As you can see, we left him a little present. I think he'll enjoy it. Stern firing plasma torpedo. That'll take care of you. Nuclear space mine is deployed, and it did a decent amount of damage, I would assume. Didn't actually see it. Wasn't paying close enough attention to watch it going on. He's still coming at us though, so he's not completely dead. Let's fire a light plasma torpedo. That might not prompt a response of a wild weasel. And it did not. It hit. Didn't kill it, unfortunately. Can I have more phasers, please? I would like to destroy this thing in one final titanic volley of phasers. Nope, still not quite working for you, huh? How about these? What are you made of? By the way, where is that destroyer? Hi. Heavy plasmas only. Send that his way. We gotta continue actually fighting into this soldier. Oh, you died real quick, so that wasn't much of a challenge. 2, we'll only fire that. Ooh, that was too much. I didn't mean to shoot all that. I was kind of hoping to save most of that, actually. He took a damage from a long-range shot. We'll fire another S-type plasma torpedo at him. He shouldn't be able to block him, although by now he might have another wild weasel ready to go. So we'll dump that over towards him, and we'll continue after this highly damaged freighter. He's only doing a speed of 2, so not that much of a threat anymore. See what he does with that. Traveling at a speed of 19.7 is a good start, although he may want to increase that speed a bit more. 3 of the freighters are down at this point, and I've just realized we've got pseudo frigates, and we're not using them. Will I deploy them? No, not with the ship with has 2 Gatling phasers around here. There's too much of a chance that that destroyer will sprint after my little tiny pseudo frigates and kill them just as it overruns them, and that's a frustrating experience, let me tell you. So this final volley ought to be enough to sink this freighter. You're also somewhat dented, so we might have enough phaser firepower to do this. Hopefully. Maybe. I'm really kind of surprised that the nuclear space mine didn't deal more damage to you, because, you know, it was a perfect hit. And fire. There we go. Do I have anything else to shoot at you? Just the stern firing plasma or phasers, and no plasma torpedoes as of yet. So we'll swing gently around here and fire in through there. Are we missing a point of power? No. This was an interesting life decision you have made. I'm not quite sure why you made it, but okay. I'm not going to bother letting him go. I don't see a point to letting him go. Now he's like, okay. Just in case. Hi, incoming missiles? Yeah, meet plasma Ds. And then phasers. And then plasma if I've got it, but I don't quite. There'll be a plasma F on its way shortly. We posted it in the mail. And phasers ought to kill you from long range. There we go. So the convoy's dead. And the escort is just about to be dead. If we had phasers, he'd be dead by now, but he doesn't. We don't. So stand by for a little bit more plasma torpedo. We'll see if a single S can do it here, because the S will be ready before the 2 Rs. Right into his face. He took that damage like a champ. And as he comes around, he'll be exposed to our phaser 3s, which I don't think is good. Oh, nope, there. The R-type plasma torpedoes were still just barely in range, and they wrecked him. As one would expect from plasma torpedoes of the R description being fired at a destroyer. Tile's still not taken, so we're going to keep the effort up. And we do see the reason why this tile is not taken yet. There is still influence being put out by this starbase here, which has become our new primary target. We're going to go after it, and we're going to murder it. I think we can do it. 80% sure. It could be protected by one of those gigantic starships, and if that's the case, then, oh, that becomes more difficult. Now, let's not forget to set our plasma torpedoes to enveloping this time, because that was frustrating. And we'll kick on the speed just a little bit, make sure that we're trundling along nice and gently. Check out the heavy cruiser that's been disabled, obviously suffering from some major problem, although he is carrying medical supplies. So, hey, maybe the pirates are being altruistic for once. I doubt it, but hey, every so often we try and give them the benefit of the doubt, and by that I mean plasma. The answer to all things Romulan, plasma. More speed, just give me more speed. Also, I suppose we should set up our weapons systems, but he's a luxury freighter, or a medium freighter, or whatever they're going to name it this time. Transporters, hi, these, they're mine. And yes, we did drop the forward shield in order to do that. All pseudo torpedoes. That'll drop his speed, I anticipate. Yep, there it goes. And we will stop. In fact, we will crash stop. And then we will try and select that shuttle on the outskirts. There we go. And now we'll just wait. Hi. So, you've decided to make a terrible life decision by actually coming out here to investigate this. And we're here to make sure that you don't ever learn from that terrible life decision. Yeah, that was a bit cruel and unnecessary, but we did it anyway. Stern firing plasma torpedoes, you may report. Wow, that took a long time to happen. Seriously, why does the stern firing plasma torpedoes take so long to actually shoot? And immediately jump out with the phasers to try and deal enough damage to kill it. It didn't work. Okay. Increase the speed of time. At this point, we're just running out the clock. Because eventually he will just self-destruct. Nothing will save him. More phaser fire. Just keep... There we go. The game decided, that's enough. You're terminated. It's done that to us a couple of times. It's not fun when it happens to us. But when it happens to other people, hilarious. Just goes to show, double standards. And how much prestige was that one worth? Can't imagine a whole lot, and it wasn't. It was 176, so not bad. Tile did get neutralized, though, so that's pretty important. Let's keep pushing back the influence, shoving the Federation back on their heels. Unfortunately, no mission coming up there, but there is one down here. We'll go on a patrol, because I prefer patrols to convoy raids. We've had too many bad experiences with Romulans early on with convoy raiding. Yes, I know that we're in a gigantic battleship and we should be able to conquer practically the entire universe, but we don't want to have to suffer convoy raids. You're a battle cruiser and you're a frigate. Was I right on that battle cruiser descriptor? No, I was very wrong. It's a heavy cruiser. And according to this, you are a CVD. So a drone carrier? Because I have been told, and I'm pretty sure I also knew this, the capital D stands for drone, but the V also stands for carrier. So, interesting. Currently scoring off against two fairly small ships, and supporting us is the RIS Gavia, which, as you can see, is one of our Klingon-loaned battleships, and the RIS Super Buyer. I assume that's some kind of bird, because most Romulan things are, who is our supply vessel, and we're squaring off against a light cruiser, a frigate, and a single heavy cruiser. Well, carrier. Set our plasma torpedoes to enveloping mode, not just in case. We are going to need them set to enveloping mode. And I'm going to set course for you. You're the biggest hull thing that's out here at this point. So we may as well focus on you. And sure, let him get in close. We'll fire stern fire weapons at him. He's a FCR. Yeah, that's what I thought. He's incredibly weakly armed for what he's actually squaring up against. So, hi, if you get much closer, never mind, I don't need to. He's got you covered. I mean, you're gonna dump your wild weasel and be protected from that, but yeah. Momentarily, I will also fire stern firing plasma torpedo at you, and then you will cry. Like a child. And wait for that to go away. Attack ships is gone. And I'm not calling my electronic warfare systems. I am not. We've been just letting things fall through the cracks. I am disappointed in the crew. Fire all the pseudo torpedoes. We're gonna do this with sort of brute force way. I assume you will respond to this and freak out and immediately stop. Yes, you did. Which, to be fair, it was the only reasonable solution. I do want to target... screw it. We're just going to stop. Because we know we can kill him. 80% sure we can kill him. We've demonstrated a few times that we are capable of firing plasma torpedoes into something and just having it implode. So as soon as you hit a speed of 4, or probably around 3 point something, we will fire all the torpedoes at you to make sure that you do not survive this engagement. Fire a high energy turn, good strategy. Unfortunately, the direction you decided to turn was a bit stupid. Okay. Who's left? So it's this group of Hawks and the Explorer. We'll take on the Hawks. And I assume you'll be dead very soon. More phasers? Yeah, that did it. Okay, now just the USS Explorer, which is a CVL, and we'll just get right on top of it and blast it from space. I assume the Explorer will not be able to outduel the Gavia. Just a hunch. Could be wrong on it, though. I mean, Federation ships have done some wonderful things, and if you think about it, we've even taken out much, much larger ships in lighter vessels. Granted, that was the early era, and we're a player and they're AI, but it's possible. I don't ever want to completely discount them, because the moment you do that, suddenly you find yourself with no shields on one area and 8 photon torpedoes hitting the hull. Because, you know, you didn't think it was possible. Which has happened. 166 prestige for a bit of a waste of time battle, and more pressure to be put on this tile. It is now surrounded by neutrals and us. So hopefully that'll influence it enough to be annihilated. Gorn vessels apparently having shown up on this engagement, so we will immediately go prep one of those. And also not neglect our defenses. And we're also at super high speed, aren't we? Reinforce that forward shield, and plasma torpedo select to enveloping. We don't want to mess that up. It is a dreadnought of some description. It is a BBX. It is the Sislith? Yeah, they're Gorn. They don't speak properly. We will, of course, prepare a second Wild Weasel just in case. We haven't done this in a very, very long time. I mean, the last time I think that we actually got involved in a plasma duel on this scale was never. Yeah, I think actually that's an accurate statement. I don't think we've ever actually gotten into a plasma duel against something the size of a battleship. So, fire all of that and start to turn. In fact, I have a better plan. Yes. Cloaking. Because, okay, decloak. He shot his wad. Decloak can come at him. And that's his crashed up. We're just going to line up on this sucker. 1, he's outnumbered. 2, he's outnumbered, and one of those things that outnumbers him is a plasma tender. Or a pseudo-frigate tender. And 3, he's got a battleship about to hit him. Although he is trying to do well. He's taken, I think, 2 fighters by now. We are within the range. So, kill, death, murder, destruction, and all things that are bad to you, sir. Wait for it. Wait for it. Forward shields are down, and we managed to get a little bit of... Wow, his stern shields actually survived that. That impresses me. Not gonna lie. I am suitably impressed by your capabilities, sir. Continue to blast away. And stern fire plasma torpedo to the face. Okay, he's managed to take out one of our shields, which is not cool. Was not anticipating that. I think we were just having a conversation about anticipation. So we will stabilize the warp core, patch up a phaser 3. We are Romulan, so we should be able to outmaneuver you without too much difficulty. Is that coming to me? Is that addressed to my? It is. Okay. I didn't realize that these were not friendlies. Thank you. Okay, now that we've dealt with the not friendlies, let's continue to just plunk away at everything this Gorn has ever made. Because I'm fairly confident we can kill him. Although, dude, you really don't need to be that afraid of him. Okay, maybe you do, but I think we can take him. So lashing out with the phaser 3, he's getting a little bit more armament. Wow, you're frustrating me now. Not really. I mean, it's only slightly annoying. Stop the ship. Oh, just in time. I'm really counting on you to kill him now, Cygnus. No, the Cygnus is not going to just kill him right now. Okay, that's not good. We no longer have any sort of defenses. He has now deployed his last Wild Weasel, which we will try and exploit. Let's try it. 66% chance. We've just rolled a dice. We have a 2/3 chance of making it. It worked. Oh god, it worked. Bounce off my forward shield. And yes, the waggle was deliberate. So eat that. I'm pretty surprised actually that you're still alive. Maybe I shouldn't be, because the R-type plasma torpedoes weren't involved in that volley. Speaking of which, we're about to shoot ourselves with an R-type plasma torpedo. Keep the blasts a-going. How do you still have anything online on that ship? Federation vessel would have buckled by now. And again, I suppose he is Gorn. He's a lot more stubborn. And thick-headed. That's his curse. Also, a lot of his firepower. Keep firing. More stuff. There we go. That was a lot of firepower we had to dump into him. And he did take quite a big chunk out of our hull. I had anticipated basically killing him in 1.5 volleys. And him never getting a chance to fire back at us. But that didn't work out. Tile is finally neutralized. And, yeah, we're starting to shove the Federation on back. So, let's stop home. Do we really want to? I kind of want to stay out here until... Yeah, you know what? We're going to do that. We're going to stay out here until we hit, I think it's 12,480? Something in that neighborhood? 12,500. When we hit 12,500, that's when we get to go home, but not a moment before then. There, we're giving ourselves a little bit of extra difficulty here. I don't anticipate it being super difficult, but, you know, it'll be something interesting to try and fight for. And there's a Gorn tile up here that we'll have to take. But that will have to wait until the next episode, because we're going to end right here, starting to put the noose down on the Federation. There's a little bit of territory left here, and I assume these will actually get taken by AI, but maybe not. We may have to put the pressure down on ourselves. Until then, I've been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I release one of these videos, press that little bell icon. Leave a comment. Which one of these 8 races that we have played is your favorite? Which faction was the coolest to you? And I will see you all in the next episode.